Hello everyone, welcome to another week of News Plus brought to you from Plus Agency. With no further ado, let's get this week's News Plus started. First of all, most exciting of all is Sydney's priciest house sale of financial year 2021-2022 has finally been reviewed. The mansion sold for jaw-dropping prices. Sydney Mansion has been selling for truly gigantic prices over the past year, in what real estate agent has described as a feeding frenzy for homes in glacial coastal enclaves. The city's trophy homes attracting increased interest from the rich and famous. Residential properties changing hands for up to $67 million, with some buyers paying without needing of a mortgage. There were more than 40 sales with a price tag about $20 million, including both properties where contracts of sale, exchanged or settled was reaching over the 2021-2022 financial year. Close to $1 billion in real estate spending was generated from just the 30 priciest home sales alone, a figure agents that represented a new era for the prestige property market. Sotheby's Sydney director Vaucluse, who masterminded many of the biggest sales and deals, said that Harbour City has become a magnet for very wealthy people. It's seen as an attractive place to live in, a way that the other Australian cities are not, he said. Melbourne doesn't have the harbour, Port Phillip just does not compare. You can get great views in other locations, but won't be in the international city. Sydney has the iconic lifestyle, and you're connected with the global city. Among the home sellers who cashed in on high demand for Sydney glamorous lifestyle were a mix of celebrities, including TV presenter Karen Castlereagh and actor Simon Baker. Ms. Castlereagh has one of the biggest sales of financial year, getting $22 million in late 2021 in her 1870s era Woollahra home. And Mr. Baker and ex-partner Rebecca Riggs sold a Bronte home for $17 million, one of the highest prices ever recorded in the coastal suburb. The couple has paid $6.5 million only for the property in 2015, which is not that long ago. Express Post David Morgan and wife former politician Ross Kelly sold their Vaucluse waterfront house, Rockpool, for just over $25 million. Another luxury Woollahra home run by the likes of Elton John and Chris Hemsworth and owned by ex-Crown boss Rob Recken sold for $35 million. Andrew Meat wholesaler Peter Andrews and wife Erin pocketed $34.5 million for their Mediterranean-style home in Vaucluse, with the sale pinned on agent Deline Lewis, the star of Amazon series luxury listings. But those lofty sales were dwarfed by the alleged $63 million to $67 million price pocketed by Lisa Allen, former wife of Yacht Matt Allen, for her Darling Point trophy home known as Tirrikee. I hope I pronounced that right. Strictly confidential agreement meant the exact price would not be available until the property settles, but industry insider review it was the highest sum paid for an Australian property over the past year. Sources revealed the prices for Tirrikee was higher than the only other $60 million plus sale over the year, the Vaucluse trophy home of corporate lawyer John Landier. The 7-bedroom property on Wentworth Rd next door to the former home of billionaire James Packer sold in early 2022 for $63 million, the buyer hailed from China. Sydney's most expensive house sold to date remained the Point Pepper estate snapped up by billionaire Elterson co-founder Michael Cannon Brooks for $100 million in 2018. Agent Alice Cooper, who sold Tirrikee, refused to comment on the sale, but said one of the reasons Lux Harbour homes were attracting such high prices was due to their secrecy. I have at least 6 people right now who are looking for me to provide them answers on decent properties between $50 million to $70 million. One has a budget of $110 million. We can't supply that kind of stock. There's distinct dry up in the supply, Mr. Cooper said. Little available mention stock in flush eastern suburb partly explains some of the higher prices recently recorded in other parts of the city, such as Northern Beaches and Sutherland Shine. Manly's top sales was about $20 million, while a Bernier home sold for the same price, setting a new record for Sutherland Shine. The top sales in Palm Beach in Sydney's north was $27.5 million. Mosman had a new record too, with $33 million sale of a house on Stanley Avenue. Other top sales in the North Shore suburb came in at $23 million and $21.5 million. Cornerstone's Alan Joyce and husband Shane Loy were also among the biggest spender in the area, paying $19 million for Federation Mansion overlooking Rosemont Bay. Here we go, top sales in Sydney for financial year 2021 to 2022. Number 1, Tirrikee in Darling Point, 63 to 67 million. We'll know soon. Wentworth Rd, Vaucluse, 63 million. Akuna in Point Pepper, 45 million. Rosemont, Woollahra, 45 million. Hopetoun Avenue, Vaucluse, 37.5. Woodlands in Woollahra, 35 million. Number 7, Hillside Avenue in Vaucluse, 35 million. 111 Castlereagh Penthouses, this is the only apartment on the list, 35 million, which is a big number. Tivoli Avenue in Rose Bay, 34 million, and Fisher Avenue in Vaucluse again, $34.5 million. All right, next one, buy don't rent. New South Wales suburb is cheaper to buy than rent according to PropTrack buy or rent report. New researchers have reviewed less than 10% of homes in New South Wales are cheaper to buy than rent, far less than 27% of homes across Australia. Latest PropTrack buy or rent report released this week indicates that despite prices rises across Sydney, leaving rental houses cheaper than buying, many pockets to the southwest and west of Sydney aren't significantly pricier than renting. According to the report, suburbs on the central coast such as Spencer and Garner top the list of the cheapest place to buy rather than rent, with Spencer in particular offering buyer a $644 saving per month if you're buying a property based on current interest rate. However, on the other hand, the suburbs where it was cheaper to rent than buy a house, including Wash Bay and Whale Beach, both of them which offered average month saving of $25,117 and $24,089. So, speaking with Daily Telegraph, PropTrack economist and reporter, also Paul Ryan, said that disparity in renting and buying in Australia, dueling from 50% in 2021 to 27% this year, has been largely driven by higher than expected interest rate. Continued prices increases combined with sharply rising interest rate has resulted in buying become less attractive of an option. While many parts of the north and the east of Sydney CBD might appear cheaper to rent over the next decade, the majority of the suburbs of the south and west appear either cheaper to buy units or very similar expected cost. So buy or rent? That's another question that everybody is gonna keep asking themselves for a long time. All right. Last news of the week, Sydney home values increased by nearly a third in the recent boom. PropTrack, Sydney homes values may have started to fall, but it will take record price drops to erase the equity gains the homeowners have made over the last 2 years. PropTrack data released Wednesday showed that Sydney homes prices remain 32.6% higher than they were in the early stages of the COVID pandemic in April 2020. The 7 months were when on-site auctions and open homes had been banned as part of the healthy measure and represented the last through the market, with March 2022 the most recent peak. Prices fell by small margins of less than 1% over May and April this year, according to the PropTrack monthly price index. The spectacular price gain over 2020 and 2021 would mean the home prices would still be well above their early pandemic levels, even if they were to drop by the level of forecast from many banks. ANZ recently forecast a 20% fall in Sydney home prices over the next 2 years, while Commonwealth Bank predicted an 18% drop over the same period. Other forecasts have predicted 15 to 20% fall on the back of additional interest rises, declining home buyers participating, and falling market situation. Price fall larger than 20% would be unprecedented in recent decades. The last major house downturn restricted was from late 2017 to early 2019, saw Sydney prices decline by a total of about 15%. PropTrack senior economist Eleanor said that recent prices fall needed to be considered in the context of the last 2 years. That has been an extraordinary period, she said. Price went up by third highest rate in 150 years. Even if prices were to fall more, the share of homeowners in negative equity would only increase a very small amount, since so many borrowers are sitting substantially, priced equity. So, whether it's a fall, it's a rise, those people who actually end up owning a property on or before 2020 in April will still be able to walk away very safely. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Plus Agency is a boutique agency located on 418 Victoria Avenue, Chatswood. Our website is plusagency.com.au. If you're interested in deals on the waterfront and parkfront, please make sure to pay us a visit. Other than that, News Plus is a channel that's going to summarize what has happened in Sydney real estate in the past week. If you're interested, please make sure you subscribe and forward this information to your family and friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Tirrikee. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.